the time.
Thanks,
U.S. Congressman
Chris.
Mo Brooks is a Republican from Alabama. Congressman, did you hear Senator Nelson? He offered up the idea of a limited commitment of troops to basically help with the spotting of targets by our air attack, and basically not, I wouldn't say not infantry moving into combat against the enemy. Where do you stand in terms of restricting the president?
Well, I'm a little bit perplexed by his comments. Personally, I think this needs to be the standard. America should not go to war unless we're committed to do the things that are necessary to win, which means that we should not restrain our commander-in-chief if, in fact, that is what America wants to do. In that regard, the President of the United States has to show that he has a strategy that can result in the extermination of the Islamic State. Second, the President has to show a willingness to be committed to the cause. There will be casualties, American casualties, and as we've seen from the Islamic State, we might, as Americans, be confronted with some very horrific events that are on the internet or on TV, and we have to be prepared for that if we're going to embark in this endeavor. And I want to know that our President is committed to the task and has a strategy that can win. And if he's not committed or does not have a strategy, then we should not engage. Rather, it should be a much greater multi-nation effort, perhaps United Nations-led effort.
That has a good sound to it. I think it sounds like Doug MacArthur, there's no substitute for victory. And I'm just wondering, in that case, when we're fighting an enemy like that, we would occupy and then liberate the people later and move and come home. What do you do if you go in and fight ISIS and you liberate areas of Iraq and areas of Syria? Who gets that territory behind your front? Who do you give it to? That's always been my question.
Well, I would hope that what would follow a defeat of the Islamic State is, with respect to Iraq, you'd have an Iraqi government that would be able to reassert control over its territory, and similarly a government in Syria, which brings up another question. Is the president going to use this as a subterfuge for toppling the Syrian regime? As you know, within the past couple of years, this White House and its Secretary of State, then Hillary Clinton, called for a toppling of the Syrian regime. So this is a very delicate situation with the Islamic State, with the Syrian regime, with al-Qaeda on the perimeter, with Iran not that far away. And I think the president needs to express it in a way that gives the American people confidence that we have a winning strategy and the commitment to win. It does us no good to get embroiled in war if we're not going to end up with a victory.
Okay, thanks so much. That was a very clear statement by Mo Brooks, Congressman from Alabama. Joining right now.